A special thank you to each of our subscribers who make this channel possible. Here's today's story. In a surprising turn of events, House Speaker Mike Johnson has announced his intention to strongly request that the House Ethics Committee refrain from releasing the findings of its investigation into former Representative Matt Gaetz. This move comes in the wake of Gaetz being nominated by President-elect Donald Trump for the position of Attorney General, a development that has sparked a significant uproar within the halls of Congress. Johnson's request is notable given the traditional independence of the ethics panel, which has typically operated without interference from House leadership. I'm going to strongly request that the Ethics Committee not issue the report because that is not the way we do things in the House, Johnson stated emphatically to reporters at the U.S. Capitol. And I think that would be a terrible precedent to set. This stance marks a clear shift from Johnson's earlier comments just days prior, where he suggested a more hands-off approach regarding the investigation into Gaetz. At that time, he remarked, "The Speaker of the House is not involved in that and can't be involved in that." The Ethics Committee is currently facing intense scrutiny as it deliberates over the long-standing probe into allegations of sexual misconduct and other serious claims against Gaetz. These allegations have loomed large since Gaetz's resignation from Congress, which occurred shortly after Trump's announcement of his nomination. Under typical circumstances, the Ethics Committee would conclude its investigations upon a member's departure, citing a lack of jurisdiction. However, Gaetz's potential appointment to Trump's cabinet complicates matters significantly, prompting calls from both Republican and Democratic senators for transparency regarding the committee's findings. Senators are insisting that the material from the Ethics Committee be made available to them to ensure a thorough vetting process for Gaetz's nomination. The sequence and timing of Mr. Gaetz's resignation from the House raises serious questions about the contents of the House Ethics Committee report, stated Senator Dick Durbin, the chair of the Senate Judiciary Committee. "We cannot allow this valuable information from a bipartisan investigation to be hidden from the American people." Gaetz has consistently denied any wrongdoing, asserting that a separate investigation by the Justice Department into sex trafficking allegations involving underage girls concluded without any federal charges being filed against him. Johnson reiterated the House rules, stating, "The rules of the House have always been that a former member is beyond the jurisdiction of the Ethics Committee, and so I don't think that's relevant." Despite this, members of the Senate Judiciary Committee, which will ultimately review Gaetz's nomination, have voiced their concerns and called for the report to be shared. "I think it's going to be material in the proceedings," remarked Senator Thomas Tillis, a Republican from North Carolina. Senator John Cornyn from Texas added, "I think there should not be any limitation on the Senate Judiciary Committee's investigation, including whatever the House Ethics Committee has generated." Meanwhile, Representative Matt Gaetz, the chair of the ethics panel, has indicated uncertainty about whether the committee can provide the report to the Senate, stating, "That is something that staff is looking into and trying to provide some guidance to members." When pressed on whether he would at least discuss the report with Senate members, Gaetz replied, "That is a decision for the committee as a whole to take up at some point." The implications of Gaetz's potential role as Attorney General are significant, as he would be expected to oversee considerable changes within the Justice Department, which has faced criticism from Trump due to ongoing criminal cases against him. Trump has portrayed himself as a victim of politically motivated prosecutions and has vowed to enact retribution against his adversaries should he regain the presidency. In his statement announcing Gaetz's nomination, Trump expressed confidence in Gaetz's ability to eliminate systemic corruption within the Justice Department and restore its focus on fighting crime and upholding our democracy and Constitution. The federal investigation into Gaetz began during Trump's first term under Attorney General Bill Barr and centered around allegations of Gaetz and his former associate, Joel Greenberg, engaging in illicit activities involving underage girls and escorts. Greenberg, a fellow Republican and former tax collector in Florida, pleaded guilty in 2021 to multiple charges, including sex trafficking, and was sentenced to 11 years in prison. As the political landscape continues to evolve, the tension surrounding Gaetz's nomination and the Ethics Committee's investigation is likely to intensify, keeping both Congress and the American public on high alert. That's all for this story. We upload videos every day covering many different subjects, so hit that subscribe button to stay informed. Thanks for watching.